Good morning, and thank you very much for joining us. I am Yori Folaring. So the Minister of Information, he went to the borders yesterday, leading our government team to the borders, maybe to look at ongoing work. And the word is that those borders are going to remain closed. Must be much to the consternation of licensed customs agents who say that their business is dying. But there's an overarching public need to get things in shape. We're losing far too much. Government says it has been clear that we're not going to accept from neighboring countries, no matter how brotherly we are, we're not going to accept goods being shipped into them and then repackaging them there and then shipping them down here. So, my guest this morning, Mr. Olayinka Oladaniels, is a lawyer and public affairs analyst. As always, Yinka, thanks a million for coming on. Good morning.
Thank you for having me.
And our friend, Mr. Chuk Smoko, our publisher and social commentator. I can't call him chief, I can't call him comrade. Okay, I just managed the mister, but it's okay.
You're blessed for that.
But the red cap leads me.
It's a fashion.
Great to have you, Chuk.
Thank you for having me, as always.
Now, the borders to remain closed. Even Nigerians are complaining. Would you believe it? Some are saying that even the right itself is now a problem, which many will consider maybe on the frivolous side. But give me your overview about. We could take this as something of an inspection and a sort of a check, and it's the opinion of the authorities that at least two of them, Benin and Niger, have just not paid any attention to Nigeria's requests. And so, sorry, if you haven't met with our conditions, no, the borders are going to remain closed.
Absolutely. I agree with the minister. And I think that as a businessman myself, sometimes you need to take some harsh economic decisions so that you can survive. The rate at which businesses are dying in Nigeria or businesses are not doing well, it's just because of inability to. I don't think that this government has made adequate enough economic decisions. This is one major one that they have made. The entrance of APC into the political space in 2015 just happened at a time when things were, exposed, and we've been in pain since then. This one, I guess, is going to just help our neighbors to understand that even though we all signed the ECOWAS protocol, and that we're concerned about the regional growth and development, our national interests come first. So if the minister made that statement yesterday, I support him. I think that what we can do is support people in the Nigerians who do business that are suffering as a result of the decision. How can we empathize with them? How can we support them? What can they do to survive and all that? But it's just a question of time. We will recover economically in those areas where government thinks that we're suffering setback. We're being taken advantage of. That's number one. Number two, I remember that earlier in the year, when I got a call from Ghana, from some group asking me what I was doing and what I was aware of what was going on in Ghana and all that concerning the Nigerian shops that were being shot by Gupta, Ghana Union of Trade Association and all that, and listening to the president of that association, the spokesperson for that association. And I remember that before the closure of those shops, the Minister for Information, the Ghanaian Minister of Information, had called a meeting where he spoke to them and reminded them about the ECOWAS protocol that we signed. How that these Nigerians that they're closed haven't infringed on any laws. They are registered residents, because they have to register after 90 days of straightforward residence in Ghana, that they fulfilled, and most of them are actually married to Ghanaian women and all that. But they were peddling lies against these Nigerians that were bringing in fake and smuggling goods into the country, and as a result selling cheaper and all that. That was the accusation, that their goods, their spare parts and other goods were selling cheaper than what the Ghanaians were selling and all that. And I remember asking them that kind of position they were taking, that were indicting the immigration and custom officers for allowing Nigerians to smuggle goods into the water. But I remember also that they replied me that the ECOWAS protocol does not hold water as far as that matter was concerned. So I think that the same thing should apply here. We should love our country first. We should protect our economy first. We should work hard. And if you look around the world, its protectionist tendency is all over the place. You have to survive first.
People putting their country first.
National security,
National interest
full
first.
security, and everything needs to be prioritized above regional interest.
Indeed.
In that order.
Sure. And then, Yinka, also equally important, perhaps, not perhaps, it's very, very important. Government alleges that up to 95% of illegal arms to, those battling insurgents is coming through these short borders. I mean, if they came up with a figure like 95%, it's on the front page of one of the Vanguard this morning, but up to 95% of illegal arms are actually coming through those borders. It just gives perhaps a bit more rationale for what's going on. If this situation hasn't changed, I don't know if in talking about it, you might also dwell a bit on when government says that Benin and Niger haven't done anything to meet conditions that they had laid. Are they supposed to get a bit more aggressive in terms of restraining their citizens from heading for Nigeria?
Well, Mr. Onkyori, it's pertinent that we understand that in as much as, yes, we have our sovereignty, yes, the security of our country is paramount, the economy of our country is paramount, then we need to put some things into consideration. Because we are talking about Niger, we're talking about Benin, and that they have not fulfilled their part. I mean, they're part of the deal.
Yes.
But then, what about Nigeria? Because as far as I know, and as far as I can remember, most of those goods coming into the country, not all of them are contraband. There are some legit business. Now, the shutting of borders has affected even the legit business. So we need to also consider that into the economy of the country and the other side. I saw a video, I think from Niger. Some Niger people were trying to come into Nigeria, and their immigration people stopped them, and somehow they were on bikes, and when they stopped them, if you see the ammunitions that came out from one bike, and they brought out all the ammunitions, and we're wondering, meaning that they're actually working on something to see how they can cope all that. The other question is, in Nigeria today, we have immigration office services, we have the customs. The question is, what do we pay them for? Because see, now we've closed border for a number of months as we speak. And from what Mr. Minister told us as of yesterday, nothing has changed. So, what are we doing about it?
Well, I don't know that it is nothing, but it's like they haven't done enough.
Thank you.
Whatever it is that they've done,
we have not really seen anything that you have done.
Anything to make us shift our position,
there's more to
which we took because we are being hurt.
And Uncle Yori, they just mentioned Niger and Benin. There are other areas, as a number of borders that are porous in the same country, that people come in with all sorts in the same country. So what happened to those?
Maybe those just being the most notorious, that everybody can see. And if government goes as far as saying that up to 95% of illegal arms entering the country is coming via those routes.
Because don't forget that recently the Speaker of Lagos State and the Lagos State Assembly made noise. They had to cry out to say, come, this thing is affecting Lagos.
Yeah.
Because semi-border is definitely at Badagry, and Badagry, Lagos, that's Lagos State. And it's affecting businesses there, even what they are not supposed to do. They are affecting the coconut people and all that. I mean, all this we need to put into consideration. Not just carrying armor to kill an ant. In as much as we are looking at the security of the country, then we should do it with due diligence.
Okay.
My take.
But I think that you can visibly and even audibly hear that some of the things we used to hear about Boko Haram.
I think what Yinka is saying is that this can be done with a human face. I just remember back in the days, a human face.
Very well.
Something like that.
Very well.
Yeah, but I don't know what they have used here. If you're talking about human face, I don't know. Are they wearing masquerade? Are they wearing masks or whatever? But I think that every time there's a change, a few things happen. It brings pain. Those who are in a comfortable zone, it affects them. People will cry out. Every time. I empathize with them. I connect with them. and all of that. But what I'm saying is that in this short period of time that these borders have been closed, I think that if we are honest enough, we can say that there's a minimized rate of kidnapping. I haven't heard so much about Boko Haram and all the other vices that we used to hear. The things that were going on has basically reduced. And by the way, I think that, you know, if you are going to make progress as individual society, you must suffer some of these pains. You must suffer some of these pains.
It looks like part of the people
we
suffering
must
these
suffer
pains.
pains. And I think they've gotten to a point, comfort zone, where we no longer appreciate the relevance of pains and all that. Because most of the people there will be moved into other areas where they do not know or where they do not expect that there are opportunities. Every time there's this type of hardship, do you understand what I'm saying? That has always been part of the human life, that every time there's a change, you feel pain.
There will be some...
Yeah, but let me quickly tell you something. You know, I'm going to try as much as I can to mention the name of a particular company that was here. Before this government came in 2015, all kinds of things was going on around, especially around the dollar. People were doing all kinds of businesses here. It was so easy. They come here, do whatever they need to do. They take the currency out. There's a pharmaceutical company called AstraZeneca. Recently, they were on BBC where they denounced the prince who was involved in some, with Eckstein, the man who committed suicide in New York prison. That company just offloaded the man, that they don't want to have anything to do with him. That company was in existing here, somewhere in Ikoyi. When a Nigerian person became the country director, he moved that company to Ikeja. Do you know what they were doing? They were just trading in pharmaceutical products. They would bring it here, sell and all that. But when the dollar became hard to find, when this government came in 2015, they left here. What is going on today? Those young men and women who were working in that company, driving big official cars and earning, they're all into the same business that company used to do. Change has that potential, has that capacity, has that ability to take you to a place of new opportunities that you never saw, that was always there.
So, but our overriding interest is, first of all, remove as many impediments as possible, you know, from the development of our economy.
Our economy is tied to our politics uniquely, because every time you talk to every Nigerian, they say Buhari, Buhari, Buhari. Go abroad. Every economy that I know outside of Nigeria is predicated on the activities of citizens who work. You see, you have lazy politicians who don't work. Then our youth are followed too, and you can't really blame them. Everybody is waiting and rather begging for money, asking you to give them and dash them and whatever. Go out there, and every time I come here, I repeat myself.
So you're saying that the injury to the economy is much more internally, you know, generated than this sabotage, quite frankly, in the eyes
because
of
all those things that they are bringing, the guns and all that, who are the people using it? The few times the custom people were able to show us cashier and containers or whatever, those were the ones they wanted to show us, or the ones that they saw. How about the millions that would, all the guns that people are using all over the place? During the election, you heard that they were shooting guns in Kogi. Do we have gun shops in Nigeria? We don't. So I am saying that whatever government decision that government makes, it's our responsibility to support them, especially if that policy is viable and if you can see the advantage. Because I haven't heard that herdsmen are kidnapping and killing people on the highway in the last few weeks. I haven't heard that somebody has been kidnapping in Ekbe or in that state in Ojodu where kidnapping took place. It's minimized. Yeah. Now, I'm just saying that it might be linked to the closure of this border and that we should give it and in the process, that's not to say we should not empathize with our brothers and sisters who are directly affected by this closure, who do business in that axis. But what I'm saying to them is that we must always realize that if you look inwards, there are other things that you can do.
There will be sacrifices. So we can't
make sacrifices.
We can't open up
national economic sacrifice is not just national.
Yes.
It's personal sometimes. I have to sacrifice my sleep some night to be able to do stuff for myself, invest in myself.
Yeah, yeah. I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, because Uncle Yori, I will come back to what I said earlier.
Okay.
Recently, the Controller General of Customs made a pronouncement or a directive that fuel should not be sold at some 20 kilometers or something away from. And then I ask, so what happens to the Nigerians that are within that axis?
Yeah,
So
I remember we talked about that.
Thank you. So how do they survive? And again, the question is, does it have the so much power, or does it even have any power to give such directive?
So you seem to be saying, Yinka, that a lot of this is high-handed.
Well, I don't want to use the word high-handed.
Oh, okay, because there's, you can't make an omelette without breaking a few eggs.
No one is disputing that. And when we talked about change, yes, there will be pain to have gains. No one is disputing it. It will happen. But what we are saying is, when you are doing this, like you said earlier, at the human face, then consider others. Don't say because you need to kill that ant, then you bring an armor when you can easily just either pick it or do something.
And be much
more, and when you use the armor, you break tables, you break every other thing alongside.
I get you clearly now. You're saying that we could have been a lot more clinical
about
this. Take out precisely that what needs to be. But this is, in one sense, no doubt government is looking at it as some sort of a war. And in war, sometimes there is collateral damage.
There are some wars that you fight on the table, and you don't shed blood.
Oh, I hear you.
Yes.
I hear what you're saying. But people are shouting. Well, generally speaking, I would guess most Nigerians go along with government on this. But you see, perhaps it's easier when you're not directly involved.
Exactly.
Well, one can understand that.
But, be painful.
And be quite painful. But when you look at the overall picture, as for instance, the minister was saying that, look, that 30 million naira rice import that I think is Benin, that since we were the object of Benin's repackaging, in time people will get sense and then it will start coming directly here. But you can't, it won't just arrive there by saying, hey folks, let's do the right thing. Unfortunately,
and I don't think it's also fair to discuss this matter without drawing your attention to the activities of some of us who are Nigerians who don't operate our business in that area. I'll give you a very good, a clear example. When a Nigerian wants to buy a car, I have a neighbor who did it. He's driving this Lexus 2010 RX 350. That's what he's driving. At the time, he bought about 2.70 million naira. Now, to buy this car, somebody came all the way from Ilorin in Kwara, who is a specialist in this border business. He goes into the place, goes to the port, buys this car, drives it all the way to a neighboring Nigerian town, goes to see this Oba, and all that and all that. And the Oba says, you know what, go and bring the original, the person you are buying this car for, and all that and all that. And the guy comes to Nigeria, goes back to Ilorin, calls this person that I have done my own part, you go see the Oba and all that and all that. So I think that maybe because of ignorance, maybe it is deliberate, we don't care so much at that level of what we're doing to our economy and to ourselves and all that. We're looking at buying this car at less than the street price in Lagos and all that. So we get involved.
Every little drop contributes to filling up the bucket.
Exactly.
And so there's a way we've been doing our thing.
The way we have been doing our own thing. Some of us are not patriotic. And I, like I said, maybe it's out of ignorance, but it's also that selfish tendency. My greed, my personal interest and all that, would do some of these things. I asked that man and his wife, all this because I just told you summarized version of what happened. If you know the wahala they went, so I called them. I said, I can pay this wahala that you people are going through. I can pay 5 million naira for it because I don't have the energy and the strength to be going. If you know what they went to, the trouble that they went through of giving parting with their money, and this guy comes to Lagos, takes off to Kwara, and they are calling him. Sometimes he's not even answering them until he managed to tell them where to go to. They now have to go and drive. We sabotage our own economy by ourselves.
All of that was about saving money. And this is the problem. People not wanting to do the right thing.
Yes.
Now, part of this is no doubt what customs also has in mind, because although the auto car dealers are complaining, bitterly about it, but customs says that these people are as guilty, as any guy, you see on the border. Yeah. That even with collusion among customs people, they're just, all of them conspiring to defraud us of the revenue that would have come if things had been done rightly. But you know, nobody thinks of, unfortunately, nobody thinks of government.
Thinks about the country.
Nobody thinks of the country.
Yes.
Nobody thinks of quote-unquote government.
Yes.
It's about what can I do?
Me and myself.
Although that's probably a reason for that.
Okay, yes, in as much as I agree, you see, for instance, if we are talking about security, okay, fine, maybe we understand. Even at that, then I think in 2019, what I think the government should focus on this border issue, let us put all we can to strengthen the security apparatus of Nigeria. As to these borders, for instance, when you cited the example of the 30 million something rice and all that, this rice are not going to be carried by bare hands. Somehow by trucks, somehow by all these boys, all these all network.
It's
Thank
a whole
you.
criminal network.
Thank you. Now they are going to come in there. So what I'm saying is, if we have a very strong security apparatus in place, the agencies in place, and they are doing their job, sir, there will not be any need to shut down all borders. And we will still do, and those trucks will not come in, those rice will not come in, those goods that are not supposed to come into will not come in.
His or her job. You know what? I've got to go off for the quick break now. I understand there's a problem with one of the microphones. Let's see if we can fix that. Please stay with us. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. Hopefully we've fixed the microphone. As you know, before we went away, Mr. Lainka Ola Daniel and actually there's an S, Ola Daniels, and Chief Chuks Moko.
Chief indeed.
So, but the serious matter we were talking about before is the closure of the border and how it is going to remain closed because we are looking out for certain conditions. As soon as we see that these have been addressed effectively, then we'll go back to normal. And we, you know, principle among them, don't use us as a dumping ground.
I think that the point must be made.
Sorry, sir, I need to say here that licensed customs agents are not buying much of this at all. They're saying, it's so unfair to us. In fact, they've sent an SOS to the president. Say, we're going to die if we're not careful, metaphorically speaking. But even, I mean, in short, as you know, a lot of these car sales showrooms around Lagos, they've been locked. And they say that's most unfair because customs is claiming that it doesn't matter whether they are already in your workshop, in your showroom here. They have good reason to believe that they didn't do the right thing. Even there was complicity with some, you know, some custom men, and the government is not going to stand for it. So effective.
I think that's where the high-handedness should be used. For a shop, for cars that are already in a car lot, you go there and you lock it up. I think that they crossed the line in trying to resolve some issues that's economically whatever. The point that I was trying to make when you told me to start speaking, before I forget, is the attitude of the Nigerian towards work. Check other borders. When you go abroad and you're talking, and you speak
you're talking about all the border officials,
you speak to civil servants, these people that wear black and blue in the United States outpost or in whatever, they are happy to do their job, and they will tell you, they are proud to say, I'm a government worker. Check the attitude of an immigration officer when you're coming into this country. Check the attitude of the custom officer when he's checking your passport. Check when you're going out. Check them when you're coming in. Go out there. There's just a clear difference. So I don't know what the ministry or that organization called the National Orientation Agency is doing. But I think they've been around for too long. And our inability to behave well, our inability to demonstrate patriotism, our inability to exhibit excellence and patriotism in the things that we do.
Although
It's
I'm sure those
a
services
major
you
problem.
probably
So as they're closing this border, I think that it should be shutting down immigration and be creating an agency where you are going to train. Because I see, even on TV, there are programs they show on TV, you will see the dedication and the commitment and the loyalty of people who man their border posts towards their work. The way they search these people, how they apologize when, if their suspicion, in their suspicion, they were wrong and all that and all that. And they subjected to unnecessary search because of ABC.
Yeah, but
we don't find that in our people. So you now leave what you're supposed to be doing. I agree that what the accusation or what they're saying is correct, but you now go and close down shops. And you have closed this shop for months. You have closed border, and you are closing this border for months.
You've now moved closer to Allah Daniel's point of view.
But
can I say something? I hear you, Chooks, and I think ordinarily.
I don't think they should go together.
Ordinarily,
closing the border, I agree with, but closing people's business.
Maybe you agree that, in a manner of speaking, you overgeneralized a bit, because there are going to be men and women of those services who will say that, look, I hear what you're saying, but it's not fair to say every immigration man is like that, or every customs man is like that.
On that
really?
matter. Yeah,
you can't have every, your own. You can't have every
last... This is not a perception. Excuse me? This is not a perception. And I tell you why. When they organized their employment crusade in a stadium, we lost many lives there. Where were they going to? Is it not immigration? When you encourage poverty, you pay that kind of money to those departments, and people are rushing there to go and work. For crying out loud, what are they going there to do?
What you're saying
I'm
is
talking about attitude.
Yeah, you're saying the attitude of immigration men and perhaps customs men
needs to change.
Well, indeed, that's why they...
If there are cars that you suspect that are in the shops that are not legitimately supposed to be there, tell them, the owners, bring the documents for this car.
Uncle Yori, I think there's a key issue, a fundamental problem that we have as a nation, and that is the systemic problem.
Okay,
because
let me come back to you for the systemic aspect to it, because Mazi Okorafor has called in.
All right.
Good morning, Mazi.
Good morning, Sayori. Good morning, Barrister Olang, and good morning, Mr.
Thank
Chief.
you. Good morning.
Honestly speaking, it is good to leave the border closed for good 10 years, non-stop. Now, what do I have to leave it for 10 years? Look, let me give you an example. A young man I know deals with GSM and accessories. Now, he's now dealing with rice. How did this? Well, he told me just simply that he goes to the farm where they do all this farming, buy the raw rice, go to the mill, after he will now package them and start selling it. That's where, so when he got there, he saw up to 30 boys or 30 young men, but he employed 25. Now look at it, 30 people he made there, he has employed 25. Now, take for example, let's take statistics. This one is purely mathematics and statistical theory and name them. If people like that, at least maybe up to 10 of them or 20, indulge in such business and takes up to 25 people to employ to do the job, haven't we reduced the high rate of unemployment in Nigeria in that area? That's number one. Number two, come down to clothing. We have artillery materials. We have Abba-made shoes. Ask any lady in this country who is used to wearing different types of shoes that has to match with different types of to match. He or she will tell you that Abba-made shoes are of standard at the dresses. Now, instead of Nigeria to look for outside clothes to come from the border for the Christmas celebration and Salah, come to Abba, you get surplus, whatever you want. Now, what do we learn from this closure of border?
Sure.
Now, I agreed that our neighbors, Cameroon, Niger, Chad, and which other countries?
Benin.
Benin. They are now just circle within Nigeria. You look at it, all those things that comes in all those areas, agreed that there are people within those boundaries. That because of this, they will be suffering it because most of them depends on what comes in from the border to make their own living. Yes, that is why we used to talk that when you are doing a program or a project, just put what we call Plan B. So the federal government, as far as they didn't put that Plan B into about the people that have the boundaries. So it is now for government to look inwards and see what they can do about to cushion the effect of those living around the boundaries, to solve this problem and keep the border closed for good 10 years. Thank you very much. Have a blessed day in Lagos.
Thank you very much, Mazi.
I think it took some out of my mouth, but the part that is different from both sides is the 10 years. I'm not with 10 years. I'm not with the closure. Continue.
Just take 10 years as long as necessary.
No. I'm not with
Take
that.
10 years to mean as long as necessary
when I use the
for
word
everybody to get sense around here.
Systemic, you don't have a system that stick to just one plan. When you need to move, when you have a plan A, you must have plan B. Now, we've been using plan A for a while. Mr. Minister and his crew went to the border yesterday to check so far what has happened with plan A. But he came back to say, oh, because they have not agreed with what we asked them to do, so we cannot shield this. We have to continue the way it is. Then, question is, what happened to plan B? Because there was none. So no one is thinking. Once they pick something, an example of what happened in Abuja recently. In fact, my senior learning colleague, Oladipekun, was there. SAN was there when they stormed an hotel that it wasn't, and they stormed and they stopped. They went to all the cars in the hotel, and they said the people were not going to move their cars. Oladipekun came from his hotel room to enter his own car to move. They stopped him. They said, in fact, the man had to call for Uber or something that took him to court that money. They went to the hotel and they said they were going to seize all the cars. I mean, we don't need all this.
Okay. Let me not comment because quickly, Mr. George has been waiting online. Good morning, sir. Thank you for calling in.
Good morning, Uncle Yori.
Good morning.
I also greet your guests. Uncle Yori, with due respect
Good morning,
to
great.
Mr. Oladania,
Yes.
I want to say that what he said, that nothing has changed since the borders were closed, is not true. We also, when the Director of Customs came to the open to declare that the income generated by customs since the closure of the border has doubled, if not tripled. Is that not a gain?
Well, nothing has changed in the sense of the attitudes of those countries that caused the problem in the first place.
You don't expect, if you are trying to arrest a crime, you don't expect the culprit to just change overnight. There's a pain they have to they have to suffer before they can change. It's not easy for them to just easily change. Don't expect that from me. Even any criminal that you put to task doesn't easily change. It is after some pains have reached him that he now considers changing. He also said something that Lagos State government's economy is suffering as a result of the closure of that border. That again I disagree with. It seems to imply with that statement that the Lagos State government is thriving on illegal business transactions, which we all know is not true. Lagos State government is rich not from illegal business. The borders, only the land borders are closed, to the best of my understanding. Those clearing agents can still bring in their goods through the seas.
Yes.
But they would rather want to bring it. They would rather want to bring it through the land borders, where they will not pay the required custom duty, where the rules of importation will not be followed strictly. This is why the government is worried about it. You also said during the program, Uncle Yori, that the guns that come into this country, that it has been reported that 95% of them come through the land borders. So if those ones are no longer coming or it has been minimized, is that not a gain? Why are we a people that are not ready to accept pain before enjoyment? Developed countries that we run to every now and then, read their history. They didn't start enjoying from the beginning. The attitude of an average Nigerian is to resent a made in Nigeria good. Is that patriotism? Let us be consuming what we produce. Let us enjoy what we manufacture and be proud of what is Nigerian. Only then can we develop. We can't develop on the product or on the hard work of other people and rely on them. Somebody is telling me that you must import toothpick, you must import cream that you rub on your body. You must, very soon they will say we should be importing the air that we breathe in. It is not right. And I think the government is on course. We should not pressurize them to open the border, like Mazi said. If it needs to be closed for a much longer time, so be it, for as long as the closure is benefiting our economy. This is what I've got to say on this. Good morning.
Indeed. Thank you very much, and good morning to you.
Thank you. I think I need to clear the part B of the Lagos State benefiting from illegality or something. No. That's not what I meant. No,
okay.
I never said that.
No,
All I said,
he said he drew that implication
no.
from what you did say.
I never implied that.
Okay.
All I was saying that at the borders there are legit businesses that have crumbled.
Yes.
As a result of the attitude of the customs and the people and the security personnel at the borders, which Lagos State is suffering from. So we have not said that Lagos State is benefiting from.
What is the attitude? If the attitude is
who owns
obeying
the coconut?
orders, if the attitude is obeying orders, obeying official orders,
yes.
Is that what you mean by the attitude?
No. That is not it.
Okay.
But we know when we talk about attitude, you cannot be saying obey official orders. You cannot be saying go through due process and you call that attitude. No, I'm a patriot. Everything that will benefit Nigerian come first. In fact, before I talk about my tribe, I'm a Nigerian first. So anything that will benefit Nigeria and anything that will make Nigeria strong, that is what I stand for. But when we do that, I also consider the people, the citizens. I also consider the people that live in Nigeria, and I also consider the neighbors, because you cannot be an island. You must work with people to survive. Thank you.
I hear you. But I wonder if you consider that when government was considering this move, they probably would have looked at all the scenarios. And I know they would have looked at all the scenarios. They will know what is going to come. They will know the outcry and then would have weighed it. And I hear when you said that we might have had a plan B. I don't know. Sometimes you look at it, and the problem is that we've got to take this out.
It's like surgery.
Yes, we've got to take it out. It's invasive.
You open up the body.
I like the surgery analogy.
Yeah, it's like it's painful.
This is invasive surgery, invading our equanimity about the way things are.
Also, you need to consider a football team. When you have a football team that is doing well on the field, you don't change the best team. But when you find out there's an issue, then you have a plan B to either remove somebody and replace a striker or a defender. Okay. And that is what I am asking for.
Okay. I don't know.
You emphasized on the registered custom clearing agents, amongst all the other issues that
they are the ones that are complaining. But if you check out the front pages this morning,
you see these
so
guys,
much so they even send Save Our Souls message to President Buhari.
These guys need to be told something. Change is the only constant thing in life. When you're doing this business and you're registered agent and something like that happen, they should become registered custom exporting agents. We need to do more export. If you go to the international level,
I like the way you said more. Well, because we're doing export, but nowhere near.
We are not doing any export.
We're not close at all.
We're not close. We're not. Because what they need to do is work with those people who work with the banks and all that, register with the banks and all that. Because that place where they are, check the things that are going out of the country. Go to the airport. You see the export room is completely empty. Well, no activity. Go to NACO, go to the airports. But for import, everybody is there.
They're exporting.
That is number one. Number two, in the border where
it's almost negligible, but there is exportation going on.
When you go to this border that they are talking about, our entity here, Unilever and all that, they used to make margarine and a few things here. They now bring it across the border from Ghana here. So that should concern them, that the economic recovery of Nigeria will benefit them
really more. That's why Nigeria, if you want, is
let them become
that's why Nigeria,
export.
I would guess that is why Nigeria is booming. People who have to manage the economy
basically everything.
I'm not going to say that, look, leave the economy to be, to be having all these feverish chills, but let's be managing. But in any case, Wale in Mushin, good morning, sir. did I lose you already? Wale called in from Mushin. Good morning, sir. Are you there?
Good morning, Yori.
Okay. Good morning. Please go ahead.
I want to disagree with your guest today at the studio.
Okay.
The gains we have gotten from this border closure are numerous. Look at the fuel. The amount of fuel they told us we are using in this country. The closure of the border has exposed it. Don't forget that
they say our consumption has gone down by 30%.
Exactly. And that's going to even talk about this just the issue we are talking about. So we pass on that. Some last process are improving. We talk about China. We close the border and there are results. The border be closed as long as we tend to be very restrictive in nature. We needed attitudinal changes for all Nigerians, not the people at the border alone. If there's no bigger, there won't be taker. That's my submission.
Well, thank you very much for calling in. It's the way people feel, but whereas I understand one stream of thought that I'm getting, that people, those are just the casualties of, what do they say? The collateral, there will be collateral casualties.
They go skepticism in the things that you do, whether it's at war, whether it's at policy level and all that. There will always be, what I've always said is that, even here where I'm sitting down, I can connect with them and say I empathize with you, but it opens an opportunity. This country is filled with opportunity. Even as you're suffering and you're feeling the pain of the closure, can you look inwards? What can you do? Can you start growing something online? Or can you start trading?
It's okay that those people, the auto, especially the auto...
No, the auto one, let's not go there. What I think that the custom should do is go and open those shops and find another way of doing it. What you can do is go to each shop and say, this car, give me the paper. You verify. How much is that? But not closing it down. How can you go around the whole city and the whole country closing down shops? This is Christmas. Our brothers from our rental brothers depend on this enterprise to survive.
I'm not speaking.
You can't do that. That's why he was talking about using a sledgehammer. On closure of the whatever, I'm in complete disagreement. And my suggestion is that they should go there. And by the way, I was driving my car to Delta. I got to Benin. This custom guy stopped me and asked me to park. I parked. My daughter was in front of the car. And he boldly asked me for 1,000 naira. And I said, for what? He said, no, that's the money. You see that man sitting down there, that big man sitting down on the chair there. In one big company, if you are getting into Benin, I will give him the money. And I said, no, I will not give it to you. So my daughter said to me, Daddy, we came all the way from Lagos to this place. Well, look, we're almost at home. This man is asking you for 1,000. Give it to him and don't you have one? Give it to him. It was on her cancer that I gave that money. But that's what they do, intimidating people on the road and collecting money from them.
Okay.
Custom with a badge on their T-shirt.
Not all customs officers.
You're on your own.
Not all customs officers.
Both of you are on your own.
Mr. Laleko in Alakuko,
on the
good morning.
Uncle Ayo, good morning.
Thank you for calling in.
Yeah, good morning, Uncle Ayo. And good morning to your guest.
Okay.
Morning, sir.
Please carry on.
Good morning to your guest.
Morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, sir. You know my own little contribution. I know one thing. I understand that. Can you just do a small example instead of argument? The Nigerian government are the main problem. Forget about all these things you are talking about. I want to give you a simple example. If you are in New Jersey today, you send 2 cars. You have 2 cars in your compound that you are not using. You send one to Nigerian Lagos port, our port in Apapa here. You send one to Cotonou, the Cotonou port. And the 2 cars arrive same day. You will spend a lot of time, excess money before you can remove your car from the Apapa port. But you don't live now, don't leave Lagos. Just call somebody in Cotonou, which is an agent. That car in Cotonou, they are able to pay, will get to Nigeria on the second day. The one you send to your home country, you won't get it in a week. You will spend excess money, custom disturbs you up and down and everything. You pay excess money. A car you ship you $1,000 from America, same amount of money. The Cotonou guys, the Cotonou government will collect lesser amount. Nigerian government will collect double of the money. Yes, you won't be able to receive the car. If you are the one, which one will you send your car to? The one that will give you stress. We've been talking about this for years. They are not ready to review it. They force people to go and ship from Cotonou
Nigerian government is the one forcing them. Even the custom on the Diroko Road, Semoboda, they will tell you to give them the bill of lading. They will be the one to clear the car for me from Kutonu. It won't take 24 hours. When Nigeria, you know what I'm. You can't even drive to Apapa to go and greet somebody up already. You go there now. Before you get back to home, you will understand what I'm talking about. That's the little I want to contribute. Good morning, everybody.
Thank you very much for calling in.
Very valid point that he has raised.
Which government has also taken as a validation for it doing what it is doing right now. Say, sorry, this thing has become so part of or so endemic, you can't even separate it anymore. No more. Shut that route now. I know there are going to be some innocent victims. Yeah, it's going to happen.
But the point that this caller has made, look, dates back to when Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala was minister. And I remember vividly that when she was around, there was need to remove one subcharge that they were charging. And we found out that, in fact, in her report, that particular money was going to one person in former President Jonathan's administration. I remember vividly that when you read that her document, it's clearly stated there that why should you have all these agencies of government, all of them in the port? And there was this money, particular money, I can't remember the name of the money that they were charging. And when she went to the port and asked them, she set up a committee headed by Professor somebody Monye from Onchubo in Delta State. And they agreed on the number of the same individual. Now, government can have a good policy, but the implementation and the behavior of some greedy, selfish Nigerians, big men, this selfish interest is part of the problem. So that, what this caller said, has to be addressed to justify for the closure of the border.
Okay. Yakub in Dokwemu, good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning, Shigari.
And
good morning to your guys.
Sure.
Good morning, sir.
Shigari, let me begin by saying I totally agree with the last caller. But the issue is this, Mr. Ola Daniel, with due respect, it's not that we are calling to attack you this morning. You see, a lot of gain have been made for that border being closed up to now. I support the man always calls from Aroshuku. You see, the border should remain closed. Sijori, let me give you an example. I have never tasted Abakaliki rice before. But last week, I tasted that rice. Shivyori, I will applaud you to do the same. And then you come to this studio to tell us what you feel. Because that rice was so nice.
Is it as good as Ofada rice?
See, Shivyori, I don't want to compare both. But if you taste that rice and Ofada rice, both of them look same taste.
Okay.
But the other one smells nice. And then even when you are tasting it, you will like eating that rice. But having said that, Shivyori, you see, this border closure, it is good. But the problem we have is this. Our custom, the woman people, the custom that mount that borders, you cannot rule out corruption, Shivyori. Look at what the last caller just said.
You can't rule it out anywhere in our society, unfortunately. You can't rule it out anywhere in our society.
See, Shivyori, I'm sorry to say, if you get into custom today, as a custom officer, they employ you today. You'll be either you posted to Iduroko border, or you got to posted to Apapa port. Why? Even some of them even pay bribe for them to be posted to those two areas and other places that they get something.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, but see, ordinary citizen, somebody like me and other people, citizens of the country, we know this. But we always say, allegedly. That is what is killing us. This truth is what we say.
Allegedly is killing us. Yes, when you don't have evidence, you don't have koro evidence, as our people say.
Okay, you say allegedly. If I'm driving all the way from, let's say, Ogun State to Abeokuta Lagos Expressway or Ibadan Expressway, are you telling me you have never met a police officer collecting bribe on that road? And then if you say that, you will say allegedly. What is kind of allegedly we are talking about?
No, even though I'm not American, I will plead the fifth.
No, Chief the government should be able to, the government, I will applaud the government, they should be able to do something, which is technology.
Okay.
Because let them use technology to
to mount our borders as well, because we don't even have human
We've
capacity
said that repeatedly.
to do that.
Yeah.
So God will bless us. Thank you. God bless you all as well.
Thank you very much. Going by our callers.
That is plan B, thinking out of the box.
Okay.
Thank you, the last caller.
Yakub from Dokwemo.
No,
okay.
I don't know the meaning of plan B. What I think, Mr. Daniels, what I think that usually happens.
We've run out of time, but let me,
What usually will happen in an organization like this, or in custom, or whatever is that, or even in government, is when you make a decision, that's not the end of the decision. You don't need a plan B. It naturally grows. You make corrections as you go along the line. As you hear us now, and that's what we have said, and implement it where necessary.
Thank you very much, Mr. Nwoko, for coming on, and thank you very much, Mr. Ola Daniels, for also coming on. That's our program. Please join us tomorrow for a fresh edition. I'm Yori Folani. Bye-bye for now.